Gasoline shortages and pump outages. We have a lot to talk about with that. A bunch of reports coming from you guys. I'm also going to show you how outrageous hospital billing has become. This one ER that we're going to talk about, according to its billing, should have 2,000 doctors working in the ER. That's how much they're billing for. We're going to talk about where it went off the rails and what we can do about it. Eggs disappearing in Tennessee. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates. These are your reports on what you guys are seeing out there all across the United States, all across the world, and letting us know what is actually happening out there, things that the mainstream media doesn't cover. If you have an update that you want to send in, that you want to share with the rest of the group, please do just pop onto this channel and leave a comment, use the word update somewhere in there, and give us some sort of geographical location. Thanks so much for that. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They do a fantastic job helping people move their retirements out of stocks and bonds and other risky things into gold, silver, and platinum coins. Physical metals that are yours. When you take the distribution out of your retirement account, you actually get the metals. You don't get a promise of payment. And if you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there will be a link at the end of the video. Let's hop down to South Africa, shall we? Cape Town, South Africa just had level 9 storms, and homes had damages, and it was not just winds and rains. It was winds, rains, fires, and floods. And if that doesn't just sound horrifying, I don't know what would. Truly difficult times for Cape Town as well as South Africa across the board. Difficult times with their power grid, getting running water, getting any of the utilities over there that you and I just depend on. They're having significant troubles over there, and much of it is self-inflicted. That's the truth. They want to go diversity as opposed to actually having operating equipment, operating facilities and utilities, and it's really just mapping out where the United States and other Western countries are heading super fast. This is from Soldier. It is crazy. Day-old beef bottle babies. So, baby calves that are still on a bottle, day-old, are selling for $750 to $1,000 a head. I mean, they're a calf, and they're selling for $750 to $1,000. That's how bad the beef shortage is out there. Even dairy calves are $300 to $400 for bull calves. The cheapest I have found are Holstein heifer calves at $180. Big difference between $180 and $1,000 per head, isn't there? And usually the dairy calves are more expensive, I believe. Correct me in the comments section if I'm wrong on that one, but I think beef cattle are usually cheaper than the milk cows. Beverly says, this is the first time I am writing to you, so thank you for chiming in. I live in the Twin Cities, Minnesota, and I was at Walmart this morning. There were a lot of empty spaces on shelves. Hormel corned beef hash was empty. They did have a few cans of low sodium. Half of the ice cream cooler was empty. Some of the shelves that were bare, it didn't say what was supposed to be there, so I don't know all of the product that was missing. This is the first time I've seen signs of low supply of groceries here in my town. Yeah, now, near term, it could be just that there's a supply chain issue, trucks were missed or whatever, or it could be issues where you're having bigger issues with your distribution center or the warehouses, that type of thing. There's a lot of stuff that could be going wrong, we're not seeing massive shortages across the entire United States. By and large, we're seeing it in certain areas. I hadn't heard about corned beef hash until you. So if anyone else is seeing issues with corned beef hash out there, let us know about that as well. Sasha says, hi Steve, my husband went to work this morning in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. He stopped to get gas, and the station tanks were all covered, and it said no gas. Then he stopped at the next one, different brand and sign saying pumps not working? Is there something going on that we don't know about? I know that they are not filling the gas reserves for the Northeast, but stations are running out of gas already. Our stations running out of gas already. Thanks for all the great info. So what's happening right now, the big news out there is that Russia's is experiencing gasoline shortage as well as diesel shortage, because a lot of their refineries, a significant portion of their refinery fleet has been knocked offline due to damage from attacks. And they're having a hard time repairing them because they can't get the parts that they need due to sanctions. Now, inside the United States, the only real issues we're having right now with distribution on gasoline is just the eclipse craziness that has happened. And so the eclipse craziness has caused all sorts of things to be going nuts. And but other than that, we're not seeing distribution issues. Long term, we have issues with refineries. We don't have enough refineries inside the United States, but right now we're able to import what we need and make what we need. Up to this point, we haven't had anything that really knocked a lot of refineries offline to cause situational issues. However, the stockpiles of gasoline inside the United States are lower than they normally are, but that shouldn't be affecting you at your gas pumps just yet. So it is probably just a local issue and perhaps more of a happenstance. Hopefully that answers. If you're having issues out there, let us know, but I'm not hearing too much from you guys out there. Christina says, concerning the radars, I live in Missouri. There was a small tornado in the next town, and the sirens never went off. There's a tornado, but the tornado sirens didn't work. They've been upgrading the sirens, haven't they? And yet they don't seem to work when we need them. Why do upgraded things never seem to work? But they say, Christina says, thankfully no injuries, however. Deidre says, we are in southeast Missouri and the radar went down while we were watching Channel 12. The meteorologist almost freaked out. He had to use his cell phone to keep the audience updated. Unreal. Welcome to the new third world country of the United States of America, friends. Some people just seem to be just dead on intent on dragging us backwards in time to the old times, back to living in caves because it's better for the planet. And if they can get rid of most of the population in the United States and other Western countries, they're absolutely all for that. Mimi says, received a letter from South State Bank that it was hacked in February. Again, April, getting letters about hacks in February. All of our info accessed. Now what? Just wait for the credit and bank thefts? Apparently, that seems to be the plan of the bank. You see these reports like, okay, so your information was exposed and hacked, and it's like they never have any solutions in them. It's not like, so we changed your bank account number and we're updating all of your information. Your checks, we're going to update the checks and send you a new batch of checks. Nope, not that. It's just, oh, by the way, you were hacked. Sorry. They don't even say sorry, right? Cynthia in South Central Kentucky. In July, I went to the ER 2 days in a row. Each visit was $20,000. For one day, $20,000 in the ER. Not counting all the tests they took. I was totally shocked. So I just want you to put your thinking cap on here and imagine just a store. We won't talk about what kind of a store. A store that charges, has 100 to 200 customers per day. Maybe it's a restaurant. Maybe it's something else. But they charge each customer $20,000. So 100 customers at $20,000, that's $2 million. If they have 200 customers, that's $4 million. So you have a store that has this revenue of $2 to $4 million per day. Well, what kind of staff would you expect in this restaurant or this store? We're talking about a service-based industry, right? We're not talking about, they're not selling products. You don't walk out of the hospital with a product. The incidental products that you get, like stitches or medical stuff, is not like they're selling that stuff, right? So we should really be seeing most of this in staff, right? I mean, if you charge $100,000 a day for facilities, that's a really nice hospital right there, right? Per day, right? So the rest of it should be used on staff. So you could equip this ER with 2,000 doctors, making $360,000 a year. So I've done tax returns for a whole bunch of people, and I know what doctors make. Let's just say this is on the upper end of doctors. $360,000 is, you're getting your top-notch doctors. You can expect them to be working like 10 hours a day, right? So this means that for every patient that comes in, you'd be looking at 10 to 20 $360,000 a year doctors attending just to these patients. Each patient, 10 to 20 doctors. Is that what you see in ER, or is it like you're lucky to see a doctor, period? Where is all this money going? And I'll tell you the answer where it's all going. They're charging you $20,000, but the other 40 people next to you in the ER at the time, they're not charging anything. And then they're going to make you fund the whole ER for all those other people who aren't paying nothing. Friends, this is where we are. The people that are stupid enough to pay their bills, the people who are stupid enough to have insurance, are the ones who are funding all the people who don't have insurance. That's the truth of the matter. The doctors are not taking away all this money. We should be seeing $2 to $4 million worth of revenue from that ER at the prices being charged, which is crazy, right? We should be charging a tenth of that, if even that, right? So $2,000 is a more fair thing if everyone's paying their fair share. We keep hearing fair share, right? But when you go to the ER, nobody wants people paying their fair share, right? When we go to tax time, what they mean by fair share is they want the rich to pay for everything. They want the middle class to pay for everything. They don't say the middle class, but that's the truth. Who do you think actually pays the bills in the United States? It's mostly the middle class. Because a lot of them, they're not paying as much as the billionaires and the millionaires, but it is the middle class that really end up paying the lion's share of hospital bills. Who end up, I mean, all the billionaires and millionaires, they're going to their own private hospitals, right? They're going to specialists and they're getting doctors to show up at their house and stuff like that. When we talk about the ER, it's the middle class that ends up paying. The people who actually have jobs, the people that have farms, the people who have small businesses, they're the ones paying for the hospitals. Am I getting a little riled up? You probably hear that I am. Because most of the people that show up at the ER are just trying to avoid paying doctor's fees, or their insurance won't cover things, and so they have to show up at the ER instead, or they don't have health care coverage, and so they're showing up at the ER so they can get free medical care, or they're undocumented. Yep, I said it. Gail says, West Tennessee, no eggs at Walmart, and few heads of lettuce already. The few heads of lettuce already there are already browning. Madam K says, Northeast Wisconsin, Campbell's home-style soups. The cans of soup aren't even full. There is more broth in the cans as well, and little more than half are beans. So ham and beans and pork and beans, that kind of stuff. Hardly any beans in there. Also, a can of whole potatoes. I opened two. One was half full, the other was quarter full. Thought was a mechanical error, but reading the comments, not so sure anymore. That's right. That's the way they're keeping the prices where they are, is because they're just absolutely putting less product in the cans, more water in the cans, and that's how they're keeping prices where they are. But friends, that is major inflation. Even if the Federal Reserve, even if the U.S. government won't recognize it, that is the truth. Thanks, Steve. I could see you calmly swaying in the aftershock. I was nervous for you. You and me both, but it was. I was already up. I was up on the 6th floor, and so that much swaying meant that it was not a very strong aftershock at all. So that's why I wasn't super concerned about it. And I needed to get my videos done because I care about you guys, and I really believe that the importance of these update videos. I am regularly watching other channels that do these update videos too within our circles, and I think it's great. Bear Independent, Southern Prepper One. I think that these reports are real news. You can't believe what you're getting out of the mainstream media, but you can believe what we're hearing from other members in the community. So thanks so much for that. If you want to check out what you can do with Genesis Gold, there is a link right there. They'll answer your questions, no pressure. If you want to check out another video from the channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.